afternoon. My name is Christian Bumgarner, and I'm here today to talk to you about a billion-dollar industry that is booming and that is helping the United States function. Now, close your eyes for 10 seconds and picture yourself making 6 figures a year. At the end of the 10 seconds, I will ask you to guess what you think it may be, starting now. Okay, has anyone guessed what it is? No? Okay. Well, this becomes possible right now the way the oil field is going. So according to Nomad Drilling, starting salary pay for a floor hand is anywhere from $22 to $25 an hour. Now this is a lot of money, but salary varies from position to position in the oil field. With the oil industry quickly rising, they are in need of new help, such as young employees from ages anywhere from 18 to 47 years old, while also providing many job opportunities for people in specific majors, such as engineering, biochemist, and I forgot the other one. Medics. There you go. Now we move on to young workers and why they want young workers. Young workers have a better chance of making a career in this field because they will grow and they'll be caught up in the money that they'll be able to build up their way to be on top of the company. They're money hungry, like I said. They're great at using technology and finding ways to evolve and add on more to today's modern technology. They're great learners and great listeners. You can get them behind almost anything and they will figure out a way how to work it. That is why today's youth is amazing. We move on to the salary and interview portion of why the interview process is so important. The interview process is so important because you do not want to ask any false questions or any questions that will get you out of the job, such as do you drug test or stuff like that. You want to ask strong questions and answer any question asked of you. When you ask about your salary, you might want to ask, how much will I be making, or how long will I be gone from home, and do you offer any benefits? Retain from non-important questions. Now we're moving on to preventing accidents and how you prevent accidents in the oil field and what they do to take precautions for it. To prevent accidents, they take safety classes 2 to 3 times a year. They also have morning and nighttime rig meetings, before shift or after shift to decide, what today's plan is, what's going to happen, and what went on the day before if there was an accident. They also hold BOP school, which is blowout prevention school that toll pushers and drillers must attend every 2 years. A key thing is to check equipment before the rig starts and when the rig shuts down. You want to go over everything to make sure it's still there. Move on to the oil strike. So the original barrel count back in 2000 was 2,500 barrels a day. Now it may sound like a lot, but it's not compared to what today is. We nearly doubled with 50,000 barrels per day and constantly growing. So expected by the end of the year, we are expecting to be roughly around 6,000 to 8,000 barrels a day. What the oil field does during this oil strike is they provide for many small towns. They build them stadiums, schools, offices, parks. A lot of oil field companies base themselves out of small towns because it's very small. We also account for nearly half of America's oil supply. A lot of people didn't know that, but a quarter of America's oil supply comes from West Texas. We move on now to the downfall of the oil field and why a lot of people don't want to be in the oil field anymore. Because back in 2012, there was a layoff period where nearly hundreds of thousands of people were laid off from the oil field, including my dad and my uncle. Another downfall from the oil field is time away from home. A lot of people don't want to be away for 14 to 14 or 15 or 30, 15, which is like 30 days on and 15 days off. They don't want to have to deal with accidents. Accidents are always going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. And they don't want to do jobs that no one else wants to do. It's a big problem because you get people there and you ask them to do something and they don't want to do it and they might quit on the job. You have to call someone from another rig or someone off duty to go and help. We move on now to new technology. With new technology coming, we are finding new ways to drill very easily by getting new drill bits, new pipe, new trailers, new machinery all around. What the new drill bits do now is that they have so many blades that they cut at a different angle and they suck up oil almost like a straw. And the pipe now is able to curve almost in an S shape, like a straw, like a veggie straw going down. What the trailers do now is a trailer for the motorman and driller to work in instead of having to work outside constantly. The motorman will sit behind a computer and watch the machinery through there in stacks, while the driller will work the drill using a joystick, using vibration off the pipes from hitting the ground. Now, what it is now is off the computer, it's using 3D graphics to present it to the driller, so he can see what he's drilling and make sure he doesn't hit any harmful gases. Move on now to job opportunities and why the oil field is so important, and it creates many job opportunities for many people. It provides many jobs for biochemists, engineers, medics, and ex-armed forces. Why for ex-armed forces? Because they're great leaders and they're always willing to help the people who served our country. Engineers need to provide better equipment and make sure all equipment is working properly. Biochemists take ground samples to make sure that the soil is good and that oil is present and that maybe it might be a future oil drilling site. Medics are on hand all the time for injury or sickness. You know, you're working, you don't have time to go to the hospital or anything like that, you have a full-time medic. Now we come down to safe drilling. Why is safe drilling so important? Well, you don't want accidents and you don't want complaints from anybody. So the key thing is preparing for the unexpected. The oil field now has a zero-tolerance sexual harassment policy, because a lot of females now are deciding to join the oil field, and it's been very hard for some people. Their job now is trying to provide a safe work zone for any surrounding area, which includes, you know, keeping any little injury going on, BOP, blowouts, or you know, sexual harassment happening. Another key thing is attending safety classes. And coming to conclusion that the oil field is full of many opportunities. It's a money-hungry place for the youth. It's booming now. It's going to be booming forever. There's new technology, and we will now find new ways to drill. The end. Thank you.